Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. And today I'm going to talk about why, when it comes to money, I think we should sweat the small stuff and focus on the detail. I say this, it came to mind because I was reading a finance blogger whose opinion is that you shouldn't worry about whether you spend a fiver on a cappuccino and a cake, and instead you should be focusing on the bigger picture and on creating wealth and more income. And I thought, well, yes, in an ideal world, yes, that would be good if you had the opportunity to create extra income. But also, no, because I think that when you are aiming for frugality, whether it's just to get by or in order to have more money to invest or, build wealth, then it pays to look at the detail, in my view anyway. So I know that creating extra income could be the end of many people's money woes and worries, but it's not always practical to do that. It's not always possible to do that. Maybe you don't have the opportunity, you don't have the education, you have childminding or caring duties, you're of a certain age. I'm heading for 60 and I don't think I could walk. There are many jobs I could walk into now. I think that people are ageist and they would not necessarily think that I had very much to offer, even though I've got quite a good CV. And I think that's the case, that's the case for many people. So I think that focusing on the small stuff and undertaking small frugal actions and activities can really, really help, and it can make a massive difference. I think if you're bad with money and you earn 150 grand, then you might still spend 160 grand, mightn't you, a year? You're probably not in any better position than somebody who is bad with money, who's earning £25,000 a year, but spending £30,000 a year. If you don't have a disciplined and systematic approach to your finances, then it doesn't really matter what your income is, unless you're a complete millionaire, multi-millionaire. You can mess up. Even if you're a complete multimillionaire, I should say. We've all seen the celebrities who have made a lot of money very quickly, and perhaps they've come from humble backgrounds and they don't have the experience to know how to manage their money. And you see them, they end up bankrupt, it's all gone horribly wrong. And that's an extreme example, but there are lots of people around who earn perhaps reasonable salaries, but they are always in debt. So because they don't manage their money and they don't sweat the small stuff. There comes a point where you have to look at your attitudes and your spending habits in order to take control of your finances. So, as I say, as I've just said, you can spend more than you earn. Whatever you earn, you can spend more than you earn. And if you do that, then you're in trouble. I think by making small daily choices towards saving money can make a big difference to most of us. The more firmly you tighten your belt, then the quicker you'll be able to save up for whatever it is you want to save up for, be it a mortgage or a wedding or a holiday, or the more quickly you'll be able to pay off your debt, or the more money you'll have to put towards your investments if that's what you're aiming for. So if you look at it like that, then it becomes a kind of mission, and you can really think of ways to save lots of money and put them to towards whatever your goals are. So it's not just a question of being stingy at all in the slightest. It's never a question of being stingy and mean with your money. It's about making choices with your money, making choices that perhaps enable you to reach your goals. A few years ago, I read a book called The Millionaire Next Door, which was all about just kind of your average millionaires. They weren't Donald Trump or Elon Musk or anybody like that, just your average millionaire. And this guy interviewed them and discovered that many of them were millionaires because they'd made really good, prudent decisions about their finances from an early stage, and they'd been consistent with their approach to money. So, things like keeping a spending diary to see where your money is going if you find you're a bit out of control, making a budget each week and sticking to the budget, meal planning, using the food that you've got, energy saving, we're all looking at doing that now, not leaving lights blazing throughout the house when you're not in those rooms, not putting the heating on at the first signs of autumn, just wearing some clothes, some jumpers, some layers instead. Just thinking about the small daily actions that you can do. So, the shop's around the corner, walk to the shop rather than getting in your car. Even do you even need to go to the shop? Think about doing one weekly shop rather than several small shops when you're liable to be tempted by other things while you're in there. If you're anything like me anyway, because that is definitely the case for me. If I go into the shops more often, I'll spend more money. There's absolutely no doubt about it. So searching out bargains, yellow stickers, those kind of things. And maybe some of the well-off people are well off because they're very prudent and they've made some good investments over the years and they've carefully managed their money. So if you look at it like that, it becomes more of a game and less of a chore. So in this way, frugality is more likely to enrich your life rather than making you feel hard done by and deprived. So personally, I may not ever be wealthy. In fact, there's a very good chance I will never be wealthy. But at least by making my daily careful choices towards frugality, I have peace of mind. I've got peace of mind when it comes to money. And it also means that I can afford to do the things that I enjoy doing. So we can afford to go on holiday. We're going on holiday next month. So there's lots of different things that you can look at. There are lots of frugal habits that you can develop when you think about it. And as I say, if you think about it as sensible financial management, prudence, if you think of it like that, rather than being stingy or being mean or being miserly and counting your pennies, then it's a more positive thing and it's more helpful to you as well. I think that forward planning is quite helpful when you're trying to manage your money. So, say you pay certain bills annually, maybe your car tax or your insurance, perhaps you do it that way. Save for them, budget for them. I actually prefer to pay most things monthly. So I even pay my car tax to the DVLA monthly because it doesn't cost me any more. And it means that I don't have to think about it. I budget for it on a monthly basis. But if you do have annual expenses, and you will have some, then put money aside for them, plan for Christmas, plan for birthdays and special occasions, plan for holidays, plan for things going wrong, plan for your boiler breaking down, your washing machine breaking down, the car breaking down. Plan for those things, have an emergency fund for those things, and have a fun fund as well for the other things like holidays and Christmas and that sort of thing. So forward planning is really important. I've already mentioned meal planning. That's really, really good. It saves loads of money. Make an effort to get organised. So with your meal planning, you can get organised, you can plan your dinners, but also think about your lunches. If you go out to work every day, take a lunch with you. Take some leftovers from the day before, pack a sandwich, pack a flask if you've got no access to a kettle, or take the tea, coffee and milk with you. Plan ahead, think about it. Think about occasions where perhaps you've gone out for the day, take your food with you. Even if you are going into town, you think I'm going to be several hours shopping, take some drinks with you. Unless you actually plan to go into a coffee shop, which is absolutely fine. I mean, I do that sometimes. I think planning to have fun is okay too. But, sometimes I think I just want to stick to what is on my list and that's all I want to spend, and then I will take a bottle of water with me. I might even take a snack with me so that if I'm lagging mid shopping, I've got something just to give me a bit of a pick me up. So forward planning is what it's all about. With your belongings, think about maintenance of those things. You could plan that in, so car maintenance maybe, or just think about regular maintenance to keep things nice. That might mean polishing your leather shoes, to keep them looking good and keep them lasting longer. Making small repairs to things before they become big repairs, or, become an item that's, for example, an item of clothing that's now ripped to the point where it can't be repaired. Keep on top of things, so be organised. You'll know that I love buying second hand. I spent a whole year last year buying nothing but second hand. I've pretty much carried it on into this year. It's very rare that I do buy something new. So buy second hand where you can. We've got Second Hand September coming up next month. And if you're not sure what that is, look on the Oxfam website. They organise something called Second Hand September. In actual fact, I'll probably be less likely to buy my charity shop clothing from anywhere except Oxfam. I think they're rather expensive and gentrified now, but it's a good idea. I'm anti-fast fashion anyway. I think fast fashion is very polluting and it's very bad for the environment. So buy second hand. You're giving those items that you buy, whatever they are, clothing, furniture, whatever, you're giving them a new lease of life, as well as saving yourself a bit of money. Where you can't buy second hand, have a look at getting cashback on sites like Quidco and Top Cashback. It's really, if you buy a lot online, I mean, I tend to only buy online stuff at Christmas when I'm buying presents or in the months heading up towards Christmas. So if I'm going to buy somebody, say a voucher, they've asked me for a voucher, I will go onto Top Cashback and I'll see if it's possible to get that through them, and then I get some money back. So you get a percentage. Sometimes it's like up to 10%, sometimes it's only 5% or 4%, but it adds up. And I've gone on there before after a while and realised that I've got, £150 in there, and that's really helpful then, isn't it? Currently I don't have anything at all on my Top Cashback account because I don't do any online shopping. I don't do any shopping at all. But even if you don't do a lot of shopping for things, you can look on there for deals. So if you wanted insurance, etc., it's always worth looking. New phone contract, that kind of thing, it's always worth looking on Quidco or Top Cashback. And I will put my links below. They are referral links, so if you do click through and sign up and make a purchase, I will earn a small commission. It's a very small commission. Think about decluttering on a regular basis. You can see what you've got there, and you realise you don't have to buy more things, and you realise that some things were perhaps impulse purchases that were a mistake. So declutter and sell your stuff. Sell your old stuff on eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, or things like books and media you can sell on Zifit and Music Magpie, and there's several other sites where you can sell your old media. And the other thing that you can do is you learn to cook from scratch as much as possible. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be chef quality food, but just learn to cook from scratch, because it really will save you a lot of money. And if you really can't be bothered, or you just don't have time to cook from scratch, and I do understand if you're working full time, you're a parent perhaps, or you're a carer, that you probably don't have time to cook everything from scratch. I certainly didn't when I worked full time and my girls were all at home. So then think about the convenience food that you can buy that doesn't cost you very much. I would say the obvious one is some jars of sauces. There can be curry sauce or a casserole sauce or bolognese sauce. And then have a look at approved food or one of those other sites that sell off food that's near to its expiry date. It's all perfectly safe to eat, but you get it cheaper. If you've got loads of kids in the house and you need to buy them treats and things for their lunch boxes, they sell things like chocolate, biscuits and crisps and cans of pop, if you like, that sort of thing. Much, much cheaper than you would get in the shops. It's really worth checking out. They even sell things like toiletries and pet food and that kind of thing, although not in such great quantities. But it's worth checking them out. Again, I'm going to put my affiliate link below. I don't use them very much nowadays because it's just me and Justin. We have got time to scratch cook. I am trying to eat as unprocessed a diet as possible because I get a bit of arthritis and I think it's not very good for me. But, that's not actually practical or necessary for everyone. So if you really cannot scratch cook and you need to have those quick standbys in the cupboard, it's worth having them because then you don't give in to a takeaway, do you? That's what I would have done. You think, you get home from work, you're absolutely shattered. I've got a jar of something, I can just pour it over, fry up some mince and stick over some bolognese sauce and cook up some pasta. Otherwise it would have been, let's get a Deliveroo. And then, you're just 40 quid down for a family, aren't you, before you know where you are. So developing those kind of frugal habits and attitudes and just thinking all the time, what am I spending my money on? All of these small things, these small purchases, add up to hundreds of pounds, particularly if you are a family. So it can really add up to a lot. And that can make a big difference, especially now with prices going through the roof, energy bills about to triple or something, aren't they, in October when the energy price cap comes off. It is really a worrying time for people. But, you don't have to buckle under. You can think, what can I do? What can I do? What habits can I change that are going to help us long term? And I do say this, I know that some people are already on absolutely bare bones budget and all of the stuff that's going on must be just hideous. If you're on benefits or something and you already had literally no money, then you're not going to find any more money, are you? You're just not going to manage. I hope the government will do something to offer more help to people. But I'm talking about people who are perhaps have got an income. They may not have a huge income. You may have a huge income and be managing it badly, as I said. But, I'm talking people who do have an income and do have some choices. So I think those small frugal habits do add up and they are worth cultivating. So that's my rant for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Bye for now.